Start your change today. Don't wait. It's going to change your whole trajectory in a good way. Listen, what I'm about to tell you today gonna turn your head all the way upside down. It's gonna affect everything you do from here on out. Those are some pretty strong words, and I choose my words wisely. Okay, I'm not gonna go boost y'all up, have y'all overblown for nothing. Okay, y'all need to lock in over this next couple of hours. I'm about to show you some stuff that's just gonna blow your mind. All right, and it's gonna change how we do everything moving forward. 100 ways to increase your efficiency using Chat GPT. Now I got to about 95, guys. I was like, I've been working on this thing a lot lately. I only got to 95, but I'm gonna add 5 more in there. I know some of you guys have heard of Chat GPT. Some of you guys, maybe a few of you haven't heard of it. Maybe a lot of you heard about it, but don't really know how to work it. So we're gonna go through all of that today. Now, that took us from, way up here, way over here. Let's put things into perspective, okay? How can you use ChatGPT right now and just to get better, right? Like with these skills, you guys are going to be able to code a lot faster, code a lot better, okay? You're not gonna struggle to have the answer anymore because now the question drives to what is the right question. So what is ChatGPT? It is a generative pre-trained transformer. All right, it's a natural language processing technology that enables computers to understand, generate, and respond to human language. It can be used to help people in the business intelligence field and automating tasks such as coding, data integration, and reporting. On the side of coding, ChatGPT can help by generating code snippets for various tasks. This can help save time and effort by eliminating the need to manually write code for common tasks. It can also suggest improvements to existing code, allow developers to quickly optimize their code. In terms of integration and reporting, ChatGPT can help by automating generating reports from large data sets. It can be used to identify patterns and trends in the data, allowing for better decision making. Additionally, ChatGPT can be used to automate data cleansing and transformation tasks. This is to ensure the data is accurate and up to date. All right, so get ready to unlock your brain and explore a whole new world with the days of needing to know the answer to everything is gone, okay? The answer to all your questions are already out there, okay? The answer to all of your questions are already out there and they're ever changing. But the key to success is knowing the right questions to ask at the right time. This presentation is here to help you understand which questions to ask in different situations. The more you see, the more your brain will be triggered to think of what's possible, and it will help you on your journey of asking the right questions. Using ChatGPT will give you an edge over the competition, allowing you to do more with less. You can use it to reduce your work time, or you could become a super you. The choice is yours. Okay, now, we always tell you guys that Google has all of the answers, okay? But the real challenge in that is knowing what questions to ask Google, right? You gotta ask it the right question. You have to make sure you have the special keywords in there, and you just get more specific. The more you know, the more you can get specific. And so what you see is when people go on to get their jobs in this field and they get better at their job, what they're really getting better at is asking the right questions, right? Because if they're getting better and they're good at what they do, that means that they're not getting stuck as often. They're able to just kind of hammer out the mission, okay? And so what actually happens at the same time is they get better at using Google. You don't have to go to another person because Google can answer everything. However, it's not that easy. You got to take things, you got to take the results, sometimes it doesn't come in the form you like. You got to reverse engineer it and back into your code. I mean, it's tough, right? It's like an art of trying to do that. So now with ChatGPT, it's like the Google that has all of the answers, but now you can have a conversation with it. So whereas you have to ask the right questions, it's the same way as Google, but with the conversation. Like the more you know about a topic, the more you can ask the specific questions. If I ask it to tell me how to build a car, it's going to start giving me stuff that I know nothing about. It'll tell it to me, but I don't know anything about it. When you guys are coming up in this field and you want to use it for your job, then you have to learn what questions to ask at the right time while you're going through different scenarios. What I've done is I've put together my 100 set of questions, okay? And these questions are there to just get your mind going, okay? Understanding what's possible. And they're all built dynamically so that you can think of other things to put in there as like placeholders. Think of it as like a stored procedure. Moving on, before we get to it, there are a few Google apps, Google Chrome apps that I have been testing out, okay? And this is gonna be a living, breathing document located in Colaberry Network. I just sent you guys the link. So you always have access to it. And as I see different Google Chrome apps that do things well, I'm gonna add them here. So there's 3 specific ones that I recommend. One is ChatGPT for Google, and you guys can just click on this right here. I already gave you the link to the straight to the download page. So you can get your ChatGPT. For Google, what's cool about that is when you so let's look something up on the web. Colaberry. Along with your Google results, you're going to get a ChatGPT result as well, okay? And so this is just like me going to the ChatGPT website and just typing in Colaberry School, okay? So that's a pretty cool app. Another one is ChatGPT Assistant. You're going to see me use this a lot today. I'm going to use it for everything. What's cool about that is you can highlight something and then right click and then say use ChatGPT, right? So I can run this into ChatGPT just by highlighting it, right clicking and choosing the option. So ChatGPT Assistant is what provides you or what provides you that ability. And then one that's pretty cool. I like it a lot, but I'm still learning when not to use it. It will actually, ChatGPT right now only goes through 2021. So it doesn't know anything that happened after 2021, okay? And what this app does is it adds the internet capability to the ChatGPT. So if you want to ask questions on anything that happened after 2021, then this app will give you the ability to do that, right? So I haven't used it too much. It's bulky. You'll see it in mine, but I think it's worth putting on there because it's very interesting. I just haven't used it as much. So those are going to be the 3. And if I find other ones, then I'll come and update this. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to go back to our table of contents. Remember, the table of contents is always on the first step, okay? So this is where you can kind of see what you where you want to go. All right, so our first 5 here are going to be on Power BI. Then we're going to talk about some different situations where you're in SQL Server. Okay, we're going to hit Tableau. We're going to hit data warehousing. We're going to hit SSIS, SSRS, some Python. Okay, then we're going to get into some fun stuff. We're going to do some professional services. Okay, relationship coach, rapper, motivational speaker. so on and so forth. Customer support. Okay, how do we use ChatGPT for customer support? Sales and marketing. We're going to talk about job preparation, something everybody's interested in. We're going to talk about a little bit about mentorship, enhancing your communication skills, enhancing your time management, enhancing your emotional intelligence, and then how to analyze data with it. All right, so we got a lot. All right, and as we go through it, you're going to start, a lot of light bulbs are going to go off. You're going to leave this event right here much smarter than the average user because of what I'm about to show you, okay? Much smarter than the average user. And think about this. This is not coming in to replace me, but I can be a super developer, or super, whatever you want to call yourself. But you can use, if you use this the right way, because I guarantee you, everybody's not going to be using it. Okay, Google's been out there for years, has all the answers. There's nobody going through, and most people aren't going through and going and talking to Google every day like that, like, you know, all the time. So people are using it, but how you use it is going to give you an advantage. All right, so that is why I created it in this way. Okay, so first off, you're going to have the example, which is the question. Okay, but you're going to have placeholders in there to kind of get you thinking, like, what could I put in there? This is a place where I can come put different pieces of information in there, because remember, you're no longer after the answer. The answer we're going to get from ChatGPT. What you're looking for is the right question to ask. Okay, so I don't have any answers to these ChatGPT questions in this presentation. No answers, just questions. Okay, and so now moving forward, when you reach out to your mentor, you're not asking them. You are now free to reach out to your mentor, but you're going to reach out to them for the right questions. Hey, here's my scenario. What questions could I ask to get what I'm looking for? Okay, that needs to be the mindset moving forward. Okay, it's no longer about finding the answers. The answers are there. It's about finding the right question. All right, so you have the structure is you have your question, and there's usually a placeholder. And then we have the ChatGPT prompt, which is what you would pass in. And of course, we passed in a placeholder right here. So what are the three most, okay, so first off, our question is, and this is a scenario, building and designing interactive dashboards, okay? So if you're in that situation with Power BI, here you go. What are the three most common mistakes users make when building? And you plug in the dashboard. So we have interactive dashboards. So I'm just gonna run, because I got my assistant, I'm gonna right click, boom, pop it up there. And now this thing is going to tell me the three most common mistakes users make when building interactive dashboards. Now, that interactive could have been, you know, line charts, or it could have been anything, right? So this is now giving me the answer. All right, let's close that one out. Okay, so some other examples. What are best practices for designing SQL-based Power BI dashboards? That could be a question. And the third one, how do I create a visualization chart, bar chart, in my Power BI for my interactive dashboard? So you can plug in whatever you want to ask right here, okay? Let's keep it moving. Our next scenario, connecting and retrieving data from various data sources. First question, what are the steps to connect Power BI to SQL database? All right, let's try out that question. So what are the steps to connect Power BI to a SQL Server database? Look at these results, okay? It's giving me step-by-step instructions. Now, this is a conversation tool, so I can talk to it, right? Let's see, open Power BI desktop, click on Get Data in the home ribbon. Can you elaborate on number 2. So now it's giving me more information about the get data, right? That was number 2 right here. So it's giving me even more information. Only limited by the ability of you to ask the question. That's the only limitations, okay? So the next part of the question that I give you, because you want to continue to initiate the conversation, okay? So here, after we've asked it the steps, here's a potential follow-up question, right? Because I want you to be thinking about what question do I ask in the situation, and then what could be my follow-up question to get more information, all right? So here, we're saying, what are the steps to connect to Power BI to SQL Server database? But then our follow-up question is, what are the common issues faced when connecting to a SQL Server database in Power BI, and how can they be resolved, right? So now it's gonna go into, oh, this is what I could potentially face. This is what could be in my way, right? And so you probably wouldn't have thought about that, right? So now we're starting to think, oh, I could talk to it like that. Yeah, you could talk to it like that. What are the best practices for retrieving data from an Excel workbook, or it could be an Access database, it could be whatever. How can Power BI be used to visualize a SharePoint list, right? Or a spreadsheet? You know, what are the limitations to whatever you're about to ask? Okay, whatever question you ask, by the way, give me the limitations of this. Let's move on. Now our scenario is creating calculated fields and measures. All right, so what are some tips to troubleshoot the error message? Just pop the error message in there and tell it what you want to do. No, you can say, hey, this is what I'm working on. Okay, this is what I'm working on. Here's my error message. Tell me what the problem is. Listen, I've been doing this for the alumni groups for about a few weeks now. Whenever somebody has a question, I go take the question, make sure it's worded in a way where, you know, I can ask what the answer is, and then I go and get them the answer. I go get them the answer. I get it from ChatGPT. It takes me like 10 seconds, okay? And then I'm, boom, helping them solve their issue, right? So now I've been testing it out, right? Figuring out how to work it, how to make it work. Now I'm about to give you guys that power. All right, how can I create a calculated field in Power BI to calculate total sales for categories? Again, just some extra, you know, just some ways you can ask different questions pertaining to that topic. Creating DAX functions to manipulate and aggregate data, all right? Put your syntax errors in there, whatever tool you're working on. You're working on SQL, you run some code, you get a tool. I mean, you get an error, pop the error in there, right? Give it some more information. The more details you give it, the better your answer is going to be. If you're real vague, it's going to give you a real vague answer. But if you can be as specific as you want, okay? All right, so here's a few more questions. All right, let's move on. Setting and managing data refreshes, right? So here's, I'm troubleshooting this code I got while while setting up a data refresh in Power BI. Or this could be creating an SSIS package. I mean, whatever you want it to be. So now it's telling us what the error is, generally indicates there's a problem with the data source, used it for the refresh. So this thing is giving me my answers. I just have to ask the right questions. So what questions do I ask at the right time? That's all you have to figure out now, all right? All right, some more Power BI stuff. All right, let's move on to SQL. So how can I write a complex SQL query to retrieve data from my database table? What are the best ways to manipulate data in this column, plug in the table? How can I join from 2 or more tables? You can give this thing structure. I'll get to that in a little bit. All right, what are the top 3 performance tuning strategies for a SQL Server query? Okay, and then you can plug in a query. Okay, you plug in a query, it's going to give you tune-up strategies just for that query. Whatever query you pass in, it's going to give you feedback based on that query. So it's saying, adding an index to the city column, okay, partitioning the customers table based on city, caching the results. What are common causes of slow performance? What are best practices for optimizing a SQL Server database? Or you can have an example use case. All right, designing and implementing relational databases. What are some best practices for designing a database schema? How do you troubleshoot and resolve an error message while implementing relational database schema? So these backup and restoring databases, monitoring database performance. All right, so before we get to Tableau, I want to show you guys some cool things you can do. How about create me a retail database? All right, so it's not going to create the database, but it's going to go ahead and give me the structure of it, okay? So it's telling me I need a customer information, okay, a products table, orders, inventory, suppliers, right? So this is for a retail database. Now, let's say create, or how about send me the script to create these tables in SQL Server. Bam, here's my create table statement. It is giving me the code I need to create these tables. Customer information, product information, orders, inventory, suppliers. All right, my next question, once it finishes, is send me the script to add 2 records to each table. And then what's cool about this is anytime you have code, you can just click on this copy code, and then you can go paste it real easily. 2 more records to each. Bam, insert table. So it already knows the structure, okay? And you pass it in there. All right. Next, I'm going to have it create me some SQL test questions using this data. Make these questions on the level of a 5-year developer. It's still giving me questions. Now, sometimes you might want to say, give me 5. All right, looks like it's stopped. Let's move to our next.
Can you stop it? Can you stop it?
Yeah, you can stop it, but I want to answer the follow-up question. That's why I'm letting them go. Okay, it didn't give me my, oh, there we go. Okay, these are it. Stop. I'm gonna say, make it tougher.
So Ali, can we trust this 100% or we can go back and check the
No,
results?
absolutely not. It's not like, I've seen it make several mistakes. It's only like a 87% accuracy or something like that. I forget the real number. So no, it's gonna make mistakes. That's why it's important for you to understand what and the why, what you're doing, why you're doing it. Okay, you can't just blindly let this thing off and go off and do its own thing. Okay, and then just trust that everything's going to come out right.
It has an IQ of around 85. That means the accuracy could be, I mean, it could vary. It could somewhere between like 70 and 100%, right? So you have to like kind of figure out. It's like hiring a personal assistant who is just who just graduated and kind of like know the information. But given that this is machine, it is like a lot more organized and can give you information right away. Your research would be, instead of taking an hour, takes 2 minutes.
All right, thank you, Ram. Okay, so you guys seeing, if you're in Tableau, here's some questions. I'm just gonna run through them. Created calculated fields and calculated measures, creating groups, sets, and hierarchies. All right, interactive dashboards. Let's go back to our table of contents. All right, so here you have your SQL, your Tableau, your data warehousing, so you guys get the feel. We're gonna go to step 40, which is relationship coach. All right, so we're gonna tell this thing, act as a relationship coach. I want you to act as a relationship coach. I will provide some details about the 2 people involved in the conflict, and it will be your job to come up with suggestions on how they can work through the issues that are separating them. This could include advice on communication techniques or different strategies for improving their understanding of one another's perspectives. All right, so here we have, I need help in solving conflicts between my spouse and myself. Now I got my relationship coach. How accurate is it? They tell you to go, you should go do this.
Man.
Look, avoid blaming and attacking each other, okay? Take a break. Listen,
Interesting.
I put this on here because I know you can all use this. All right, moving on. Who we got next? A rapper, okay? I want you to act as a rapper. You will come up with a powerful and meaningful lyrics, beats, and rhythm that can wow the audience. Your lyrics should have an intriguing message, meaning and message which people can relate to. When it comes to choosing your beat, make sure it's catchy yet relevant to your words so that when combined, they make an explosion of sound every time. My first request is, so what I did was I just passed in some information about Colaberry, okay? I just passed in some information, 90% students, underserved communities, graduates come on to be leaders, what tools we work in, okay? So I want them to come up, write a rap about why companies should hire from Colaberry. Okay, let's put it to the test. Okay, I'm not gonna play like I know how to rap anything. Listen up, y'all, I got a story to tell about a company that's breaking down the data shell. Colaberry, they're changing the game, supplying companies with data talent. What a game. Okay, all right.
Where is Nate? Where is Nate? We need Nate to see this.
Oh my goodness.
Ali, I have a question.
Companies everywhere. I've got a message that you need to hear. A solution for your talent search, the training program that sets the bar. Colaberry's name you need to know. A place where data skills start to grow from zero to hero in just 1 year. Graduates are ready to bring the here. Don't fear. And then they got a chorus. Hire from Colaberry, you won't regret it. Data talent, you won't forget it. With AI infused, it's a winning duck. And a network of professionals that won't forget. Students come from communities underserved, but where they leave as data analysts, well deserved. With real world projects, they've got the edge. They know the answers. They're there and succeeded. Case study method, like Harvard, they say, prepares them for anything that comes their way. Promoters, directors, VPs, they're on their way. With Colaberry's help, they won't stray. All right. SQL Server, Tableau, Power BI too. They're just some of the skills they knew. AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, you name it. Data science, data analytics, and they've got it. And when they hit the job, Colaberry's there supporting and upskilling with care. A tight-knit community that's always there. Hire from Colaberry, you'll find a friend, don't you dare. All right, so there you have it. Don't waste no time. Hire from Colaberry and watch your skills climb. Data talent that's hard to find. A network of pros that's always kind.
So when do we come together and record this song? This is a hit.
Ali, I support.
Look, and then you can say, I could say something like add more about recent layoffs. So if I say add more about recent layoffs. So it's gonna rewrite the story, okay? It's gonna rewrite the song. It's gonna use a lot of same stuff, maybe reword it. All right, look, it already brought in the recent layoffs into the rap that is still rhyming and everything, okay? Still got the chorus here. So easy to tell it just to rewrite, or maybe there's a piece that you don't like about it and you just want them to change it out. Oh, don't mention my mom in this one, right? Like you can just tell it, talk to it, and it's there to answer your request. All right, let's move it on. Next up, we have motivational speaker. Put together words that inspire action and make people feel empowered to do something beyond their abilities. You can talk about any objects, but the aim is to make sure what you say resonates with your audience, giving them the incentive to work on their goals and strive for better possibilities. My first request. Okay, so I went out and I found the saddest message that I could find. Okay, my best friend is going through a rough time. She got a divorce and her husband took the house. Her kids decided to go with the dad. She started doing drugs recently. She's drinking during the day. I'm scared she's gonna hurt herself. How do I motivate her? Okay, all of these conditions. I just need some motivation. What do I tell her? Dear friend, I understand the difficult situation that your best friend is going through. Divorce and losing her kids is a tough burden. Hold on. I want divorce and losing the kids is a tough burden to bear, and it's understandable and turn into unhealthy coping mechanisms to deal with their pain. But most important to remember, she has the strength within her to overcome this challenge and come out even stronger on the other side. As her friend, you can play a critical role in her journey to recovery by offering her support, love, and encouragement. Here are some things you should say to motivate her. You are not alone. I am here for you, and I believe in you. You have been through so much, yet you are still standing. That's a testament to your strength and resilience. I know it's tough right now, but things will get better. You have the power to turn around your life and make positive changes. You are worth so much more than the struggles you are facing. You deserve happiness, love, and peace. Encourage her to help and support, whether it be therapy, support groups, or resources that can help her get back on track. Remember that she is not defined by her current struggle, and she has the ability to create a better future for herself. Remember, a motivational speech is only a first step. It takes time, effort, and determination to overcome difficult challenges. But with the right support, your best friend can emerge even stronger and more resilient. So be there for her, believe in her, and encourage her to take the first steps towards a brighter future. I feel better after reading that, man. All right, that's our motivational speaker. Let's keep it moving. Cybersecurity specialist. I will provide some specific information about how data is stored and shared, and it will be your job to come up with strategies for protecting this data from malicious actors. This could include suggesting encryption methods, creating firewalls, and implementing policies that mark certain activities as suspicious. My first request. Oh, here we go, right here. I need help in developing an effective cybersecurity strategy for my company. What processes should be in place to respond to a cybersecurity incident? All right, so let's get our question answered. We need a cybersecurity strategy, right? So, okay, now it's giving me a strategy, okay? It's giving me a list of things: incident response plan, regular security audits, vulnerability management, access control, data backup and recovery, user awareness training, right? And remember, we don't just have to take the first piece of information that it gives us. We can go as far down the rabbit hole as we want. How about elaborate on number 8? Number 8 is monitoring and detection. So it's going to give me even more details. I could even throw in there about, okay, this is how my setup is, okay? I can get as specific as I want with it. This is my setup. Tell me, give me advice based on my condition. And that's what you want to do when you're using it, is you want to make it as detailed as possible, because that's where you're going to get the best answer. It's like Google, okay? You give it a vague question in, you're going to get a vague question out. All right, we're moving on.
I'll let me tell you a true story, right?
Yeah,
Recently, I met like a person who runs online newspaper, like total all over United States. He said that a project that would take them like about 2 months, they were able to do it in a week. The data analysis project, like basically surveying the information and like getting this stuff, etc., etc. They are able to do what takes like in 2 months. They would be able to.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is going to.
So that's power.
Yeah.
Power for
Definitely. And that's how you guys need to be looking at it is how can I use this to save time, do things faster? Like I said, a super you. I want you to act as a life coach. I will provide some details about my current situation and goals, and it will be your job to come up with strategies that can help make me make better decisions and reach those objectives. This could involve offering advice on various topics, such as creating plans for achieving success or dealing with difficult emotions. My first request is I need to develop healthier habits for managing stress. Let's get some tips on how to manage this stress.
Hey Ali, is there a limit how much you can submit as a question to this?
Yeah, you're going to see that limit because they only give you a certain amount of calls per hour, okay? But a trick around that is you can log in from a different account and then use it again, which we're probably going to see me have to do here in a little bit. All right, so here's some strategies. Practice mindfulness, exercise regularly, get enough sleep, eat a healthy diet, connect with others, find healthy coping mechanisms. And remember, I can go and elaborate. Hey, can you give me 3 examples of how I could do this, right? And some of the follow-up questions, what are your current lifestyle habits and how do they contribute to your stress, right? So you feed in more information about your individual situation, then it can give you more specific results back pertaining to just you. Okay, I want you to act as a personal trainer. Your own personal trainer, guys. I will provide you with all the information needed about an individual looking to become fitter, stronger, and healthier through physical training. And your role is to devise the best plan for that person depending on their current fitness levels, goals, and lifestyle habits. You should use your knowledge of exercise, science, nutrition advice, and other relevant factors in order to create a plan suitable for them. All right, so I need help designing a diet and exercise program for someone who wants to lose weight. I'm 5'10", 250 pounds. I would like to lose 15 pounds in the next 2 months. I want the diet plan to include a keto-friendly diet. I have access to a 24-hour fitness, so include a workout plan. All right, looking forward to that meal plan. All right, need to calculate a daily calorie intake. All right, telling me about the keto diet. So this is like the overall diet, right? These are the rules you need to follow. Now, here's your exercise. All right, resistance training. And then explain that 2-3 times a week. Aerobic exercise, at least 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Okay, if it's gonna get me there. All right, warm up and cool down. Okay, good starting point, but it's important to listen to your body and make adjustments as needed. You should also consult with the doctor. Okay, thank you, I will do that. All right, oh, how about can you give me a 5-day meal plan? All right. Day 1, give me some scrambled eggs. Now I can do without the bacon, but go ahead, give me that grilled chicken breast with roasted vegetables. Are you sure I can eat these on the diet? Like this is good, right? Like you're giving me the list. So I eat it. I'm gonna lose my 15 pounds, right? I'm surprised they let me. Oh, sugar-free syrup. I ain't never tried nothing like that. Oh, you gotta have the almond flour, okay? Can't have that regular carbs. Okay, thank you. I'm now more knowledgeable in my diet. Okay, let's keep it moving. Doctor, as a doctor, I want you to act as an AI-assisted doctor. I will provide you with the details of a patient, and your task is to use the latest artificial intelligence tools, such as medical imaging software and other machine learning programs in order to diagnose the most likely cause of their symptoms. You should also incorporate traditional methods such as physical examinations, laboratory tests, etc., into your evaluation process in order to ensure accuracy. My first request is, I have a sore throat. I've been coughing for the past 3 days. I have a sore throat again. I've been taking Tylenol for the past 3 days with no changes. What is wrong with me, doctor? Let's give a doctor a little time to think. Based on the symptoms you described, it is possible that you may have an upper respiratory tract infection, such as a cold or flu. These can cause sore throat, coughing, and headaches. The use of Tylenol may have helped with the headaches, but it's unlikely to have affected the underlying infection. I recommend visiting a healthcare provider for the proper evaluation and to discuss the best course of treatment, which may include some antibiotics if the bacterial infection is suspected or antivirals if the flu is suspected. So yeah, just go ahead and throw your symptoms. And then, you know, how long does this tend to last?
So Ali, we should just click on the link you sent us and then add it to our Google Chrome.
Yeah, so on page 4 is the Google Chrome apps.
Excuse me, Ali, just to follow up with what she asked, if you're already using ChatGPT, would that affect anything at all if you click on that link?
No, it's a download for Google Chrome. It's gonna affect how your experience is in ChatGPT, or it's gonna give it some type of functionality, okay? So the one that I'm using is called the ChatGPT Assistant, where I can highlight it, right click it, and run it straight into. That is a Google Chrome app that allows me to do that. And those are on page 4 if you want to go download them.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so typically lasts 7 to 10 days. In some cases, it may last longer if the proper receiptment is not achieved. All right, am I contagious? Right? Can I be around the family? Ah, man, dang. It is contagious. Spread through respiratory droplets. Ah, man. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to lock myself away from everybody. All right, till this upper respiratory tract goes away. All right, it's for the family. All right, let's keep it moving. Investment manager. Act as an investment manager. I'm seeking guidance from experienced staff with expertise on financial markets, incorporating factors such as inflation rate or return estimates, along with tracking stock prices over lengthy periods, ultimately helping customers understand sector, then suggesting the safest possible options available where he or she can allocate funds depending on their requirements and interests. All right, so what is currently the best way to invest money short-term perspective? Now, this is where I would maybe consider using the web app, okay? There is another Google Chrome extension, okay? And here it is right here, okay? This is part of it right here. So I'm asking it for investment strategies right now, right? Maybe a good investment strategy in 2021 doesn't really apply to right now, right? So I would come and by the way, let's look, money market funds, short-term bonds, treasury bills. And then if you don't know, you know, here's a little description. And if you want more information about it, just ask it. Okay, well, what is that? Or how do I do it? Who should I go to get that information? Okay, so let's turn this on. And then I'm going to run this through. And then I'm going to short-term positive. And I'm going to say in 2023 to make sure that it hits this app. Sometimes it doesn't work on the first time. Okay, it looks like it did. Okay. So based on the web search results, I was unable to find 2023 with a short-term perspective. However, investment manager, as an investment manager, I would consider the following options. All right, so it's pretty much giving me the same thing. So I'm gonna turn this off, all right? But this one is like web chat GPT, and it will add in the 2022, 2023. And one thing I like about it is it usually gives you like website links on where it found the information, okay? So you can kind of go there and kind of see what they were looking at. All right, a chef. You always wanted your own personal chef, didn't you? I knew that about you, right? I knew that about you. As a chef, I require someone who can suggest delicious recipes that include foods which are nutritious, beneficial, but also easy and not time-consuming enough, therefore suitable for people like us, among other factors such as cost effectiveness, So overall dish ends up being healthy, yet economical at the same time. My request is, I have some ground turkey, onions, tomatoes, and spinach. Give me a recipe using those ingredients. Quick and nutritious ground turkey and spinach skillet dish. All right. I didn't say I had all of it. I didn't say I had salt and pepper. Okay, I guess that could be assumed. Okay. All right, so here's my instructions. Both healthy and economical. As the ground turkey is a lean source of protein and spinach is packed with nutrients. It's also easy to prepare, making it a great option for busy people. All right, cool. Any taco recipes? Good taco recipes. All right, so you got your own personal chef. Let's keep it moving. All right. I love this one right here. As a comedian, I will provide you with some topics related to current events, and you will use your wit, creativity, and observational skills to create a routine based on those topics. You should also be sure to incorporate personal anecdotes or experiences into the routine in order to make it more relatable and engaging for the audience. All right, my first request. Inflation has recorded record numbers. Gas prices remain high. Daycare is very expensive. Unemployment rate is low though. Okay. But I'm still upset about the Dallas Cowboys losing to the San Francisco 49ers again. All right. Go ahead and put me together a nice little script. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna let you guys judge on whether it's funny or not. Okay. That's to be determined. All right. Can you guys believe inflation is hitting us so hard? I went to buy a cup of coffee the other day and I thought I was at the gas station. And speaking of gas pricing, I feel like we're driving on a never-ending roller coaster. Up, down, but always expensive. And if you have kids and you know how rough it is with the daycare prices, it's like they're charging to raise future generations. I mean, I love my kids, but I think I'd rather take my chances with a time machine and raise them in the 90s when things were more affordable. But on the bright side, the unemployment rate is low, which means more job opportunities for people like me who are still trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. And lastly, the Dallas Cowboys, man, they just can't seem to catch a break in the playoffs, can they? It's like they're the Buffalo Bills of the NFC. But hey, at least they're keeping the 49ers playoff winning streak alive. That's something, right? Oh, that would hurt. That would be, okay, it just got too real. It just got too real. Okay, that was pretty decent. That was pretty decent. I give them that. I give them that. Now we're moving on to customer support. My customer support staff and crew. All right, and then just ordinary, just dealing with people. Okay, a student sent a help request to support. Here's the problem. Okay, come up with the response on how to handle their issue. So, true story, guys. I grabbed this from the alumni group. Okay, somebody sent the message. Hi, SSRS experts. Anyone know how to get a list of months between start date and end date using SSRS's expressions? For example, blah, 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 blah. Thanks in advance. All right. So we're going to go, a student sent help request to support. Here's the problem. Okay. And we're passing in the request. They hit me with the request. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log out. Okay. To get a list of months between the start and end date in SSRS, you can use the following expression. Then it gives you an explanation on why it's the answer. Okay. All right. That's pretty cool. What else can we do? Rewording email responses. A student sent an angry support request. Here's the email. Here's my response request. Change up the response to make it sound more apathetic, right? You know how you be all mad and you want to respond all crazy. I mean, like, it's probably not the best thing to say, right? So here's a message, and full disclosure, this was a request. Somebody mad and sent us a message. I say, this would be a great message to try it on, okay? And then, so the response, ugly response back, right? Your account was suspended due to your lack of activity and not for lack of payment. If you don't log in, your access will be taken away. Instead of spending so much time complaining, stay working on your assignment so you can get better, user. But I need to tone it down a little bit, a lot of bit actually, okay? Create a more professional and empathetic response. Thank you for reaching out to us regarding your account suspension. I apologize for any confusion or inconvenience this may have caused. After reviewing your account, I can confirm that the extension was due to a lack of activity on your account, not for a lack of payment. Our policy states that accounts that have been inactive for a certain period of time may be suspended to ensure the security of the platform and its users. I understand that a refund of December payment and a suspension of your account may have caused confusion. For that, I apologize. However, it is important to note that regular usage of your account can help prevent future suspensions. If you have any further questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help and I'll be happy to assist you. So that sounds much better than my response, which was right here. All right, so that's much better. So I better run my responses through ChatGPT before I send it out. All right, let's keep it moving. Phone script. Okay. Give me an example of a phone call script where a student was angry because they had login issues and the support rep handled it well. I'm just looking for, just give me a scenario. Okay, so I can practice. I need to know before it happens. Having login issues, sorry to hear that. Can you provide your name and email address? Okay, there it is. All right, thank you. I understand you're having trouble logging in. Can you describe the issue? I've been logging in all morning, but it says my password is incorrect. I've tried resetting it several times, but it doesn't work. That can be quite frustrating. Let me try to resolve this issue for you. Can you confirm that you're using the correct email address and password? Yes, I'm positive. Okay, let's try cleaning your browser's cache and cookies, and then try logging in again. Can you please try that? Okay, I tried that and it works. Thanks so much for your help. You're welcome. I'm glad you could assist. I'm glad I could assist you. You see these parameters in here, student name, right? So you could take these things and you could say student name equals Yama. All right. And then let's see, is there any customer support rep? Okay. Let's say equals Taiwo. I'll pass that information in there. This is Taiwo speaking. How may I assist you today? So it plugs in. Good morning, I'm Yama. I'm having issues. So it just then threw the characters in there, okay? And it's gonna give me that whole script again. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, response based on Q&A. All right, answer this customer's problem from this list of Q&As. So what I did is I just grabbed a few Q&As, right? Question and answers. Next class starts April 3rd, 2023. Students need computer with at least 5 GB RAM. Class costs $19.99. We have financing options. Deadline, sign up. Okay, $200 discount. Okay, all of these are just a bunch of pieces of information, but now I want them to be able to answer the question I asked them. Okay, which is, when is the next class starting? So I'm just copying and pasting my Q&As, and then I can ask this thing anything pertaining to this, and it's gonna know what the answers are. All right, so let's ask it. The next class starts April 3rd. To participate, students need a computer. So it's giving them, so it's gonna incorporate the Q&A into the response, okay? And if you ask anything, then anything in the realm of that, you can just keep on asking. All right, pretty cool, right? All right, let's keep it moving. Create an email response that diagnoses, present a solution, and add an example for more clarity for this student's issue. So you guys, my support staff gets tons of messages from people like, oh, you know, we got this issue, we got this issue. All right. I went and grabbed, again, from the alumni group, I went and grabbed the issue that someone was having, okay? How do I run 5 SSIS packages in parallel at the same time? Each SSIS package should have 10 data flow tasks that is loading from source to the same destination table. This is an actual challenge by one of our alumni, okay? I took in there, create an email response, that diagnosis. All right, I want you to tell me what the issue is, okay? Present a solution, and then add an example in there for more clarity. Just based off of the request, all right? It even gave me a subject for the email, solution to. All right, thank you for reaching out. I understand you want to run 5 SSIS packages in parallel, with each package having 10 data flow tasks. To receive this, you can use the execute package task within your SSIS packages. This task allows you to execute 1 or more packages. Okay, you got the parallel, boom, got that. Here's an example of how to run 5 SSIS packages in parallel. So this is the extra piece that I asked it for, right? So not only give me a solution to my problem, but give me more so I can understand it better, right? And so if I email them back with the answer, with the solution, plus an example right here of how I can do it. All right, by following this example, each of your 5 SSIS packages will run in parallel, with each package loading data from source to the same destination table. I hope the solution helps. All right, and now we can send off the email. All right, pretty cool. Let's keep it moving. All right, we're moving over to sales and marketing. Sales and marketing. Okay, so sales script. We have a script. We have a question. We have a scripted answer, okay? Will you guys help me get a job after the program? How fast would I get a job in data analytics? All right, so here is the answer, okay, that we come up with. Oh, yeah, I didn't, because we just basically wanted to reword the answer, okay? So here's our answer, okay? That's gonna include all of those details, but here's a more concise answer, okay? And so, bam, so you can rewrite what you're gonna send through. All right, let's see. Creating a sales pitch. Create a compelling sales script on why a hiring manager in the whatever industry should hire Colaberry talent. Okay, so I took those same selling points that we had for our wrap, right? Remember when we had the wrap? So I just took those same ones and create me a compelling sales pitch. I load up my facts. All right. Bam, here's my sales pitch. Look no further. You got Colaberry right in front of you. If you want, I can wrap it out to you. This thing is writing us a sales pitch. You can do things like, we could turn this into a call script. We could turn this into a script. We could turn it into a WhatsApp message. We could turn it into a LinkedIn message. Okay, we could turn it into a Facebook message. It already knows what the limitations are on those different. We could turn it to a Twitter message. I believe Twitter is only a few quick characters. Turn this to a Twitter message. So we should be getting a much condensed version. Look, it even added the hashtags in for us. It added the hashtags in because that's what they do on Twitter. Okay, that's pretty slick. All right, let's keep it moving. Are you guys amazed yet? We got more. We got more. Can you create a cold call email to a hiring manager in the blank industry on why they should hire Colaberry talent? Okay, so that's a cool one. Personalized communication. I'm about to make a phone call to a potential customer for our data analytics bootcamp. Create a compelling that is relatable as possible given the information I have found out about them. Okay. Now, obviously, the more personalized you are, the more you're going to sell better, right? So I just passed in. I'm about to reach out to a potential customer for our data analytics bootcamp. Write a compelling, look like call script. Okay, so we're gonna plug in call script. Okay, what sales type we're plugging in call script? It could be email. Okay, it could be WhatsApp message. Okay, that is relatable as possible given the information I found out. Well, I know her name is Jenna Smithers. She's been a teacher for 8 years. She heard about this program through her friend Jeff that is currently attending the program, and she's married and has 2 kids. Okay, that's all I know about her without stalking her. Okay, that information was just available somewhere for me to grab. But all right, let's see. Hi, Jenna. My name is Ali, and I'm calling from Colaberry. I wanted to reach out because I heard you've been a teacher for the past 8 years, and I think our data analytics bootcamp might be a great fit for you. I understand that you heard about us from your friend Jeff, who is currently attending the program, and I want to take a moment to share more about what we have to offer. Our bootcamp is designed to give individuals like yourself the skills and knowledge needed to succeed in a fast-growing field of data analytics. Given your background as a teacher and the fact that you have a family with 2 kids, I understand the importance of finding flexible learning solution that could fit around your busy schedule. Our bootcamp is designed to be flexible, allowing you to learn at your own pace and at your own time, making it, look, we might need to take that piece out. But it's good enough. It gives me something that's like really targeted, really personalized. It's not the same script for everybody. I'm passing in different conditions to make it more effective. All right, moving on. Okay, what are the top 5 rebuttals I should prepare for? All right, here we have, listen, I just literally went to training at colaberry.com and I grabbed our Q&A part, I'm sorry, FAQ, our most frequently asked questions, okay? I grabbed them from there and I'm just asking, based on our frequently asked questions, what rebuttals? Give me 5 rebuttals that I could possibly hear, and now I need to prepare for it. Are your programs designed specifically for career in data analytics and data science? And then it gives you a rebuttal. Our instructors come from a variety of backgrounds, including PhDs, Colaberry alumni, and seasoned industry professionals. All of that information is in our Q&As. So these are the potential rebuttal questions. So if I'm like in training, something that could be helpful. All right. Okay, we are moving to job preparation. I know y'all gonna like this one. Y'all gonna like this section because all of y'all in are the ones that's gone through the launch. You guys are gonna eat this up. Like I should just start seeing offers just starting tomorrow just because y'all using this thing to your advantage. All right. So job preparation. Interview based on job description. Okay, create 10 interview questions and answers based on job description. Make the answers be in the form of definition, example, more, and from a first person perspective. Okay, so I just went out and found a simple job description. Okay, looking for a senior BI developer. Okay, Tableau, SQL, some AWS, Python. All right, so I want to prepare for this interview. All right, I just grabbed my job description and then bam, here's my questions and it's giving back some answers. Okay, what are your strengths in Tableau? Tableau is one of my strong suits. I have a deep understanding of how to work with the tool. I have hands-on experience with data visualizations connected to various data sources. All right. Like, how you not prepared for this interview? How? I don't even understand anymore. I don't even understand anymore. Okay? You got the questions right here. You got the answers right here. You just gotta ask the right question. Okay? It's analyzing the job description and then bam, just cranking out the answers, cranking out the questions, cranking out the answers. Can you share an example of a project? I've worked on several BI projects in the past. One of my more notable ones was a retail company. The goal was developing a comprehensive dashboard that showed the company's sales and inventory data. I used Tableau to develop the dashboard, connecting multiple sources, including on-premise database and AWS Redshift cluster. The database helped the company to make informed decisions on inventory management and sales forecasting. Okay, I want to say on answer number 6, I would like to add more information on this. Okay, so on answer number 6, I would like to elaborate on this point, right? So now it goes back to the answer and starts elaborating on it. So you don't like the answer, you didn't want it to come from retail example, you say, hey, change that retail to healthcare, okay? Just like that. All right, next up on our job preparation, the resume editor. Act as a resume editor. I want you to act as a resume. I don't know why I keep doing that too. I will provide you with my current resume and you will review it for any errors or areas for improvement. You should look for any typos, grammatical errors, or formatting issues and suggest changes to improve overall clarity and effectiveness of the resume. You should also provide feedback on the content of the resume, including whether the information is presented in a clear and logical manner and whether it is effectively communicates my skills and experience. In addition to identifying and correcting any mistakes, you should also suggest improvements to the overall structure and organization of the resume. Please ensure that your edits is thorough and covers all relevant aspects of the resume, including the formatting, layout, and content. Do not include any personal opinions or preferences in your edits, but rather focus on best practices and industry standards for resume writing. And I just grabbed a resume. I grabbed one of y'all's resumes, threw it up in this thing. All right. All right. Here's my edit. So it basically just goes in and kind of rewrites your resume and kind of just, you know, make it sound a little better. Make it roll off the tongue a little better. All right, now again, is it gonna make mistakes? Absolutely, okay? You have to be the one to verify. Don't be creating stuff blindly and then shooting it over the fence, okay? You need to look, make sure that it's the results. Remember in the video we played, the guy was saying, now you spend more time, you know, before you used to have to create all of them. You create the code, create the stored procedure, create all of these things. Now you spend more time verifying, okay? You use ChatGPT as much as you can, but you got to verify the information that comes out correct. That's why you have to still know your craft and be good at your craft. All right, so this thing is, oh man, it's just doing this thing. It's then came out and rewrote my resume, well, not my resume, it's one of y'all's resume, but they put all of the information that was pertaining to the person because they just put it all in, kind of restructured it. I think you should go with this route. Yeah, all right, let's keep it moving. All right, next up is create a tell me about yourself story. So I just took the same resume, right? Posted it up in here. Now, summarize up my resume. Give me a good story from a tell me about yourself story. Okay. I wonder if it could beat Mika's Tell me about yourself stories. Listen, I ain't trying to start nothing, Mika. I ain't trying to start nothing. I'm just saying. I know you've been doing this for years, but I don't know. I ain't saying. I'm just saying. All right. Look at this thing just going. You know what? This thing, you know what? How about, you know how you guys, look, sometimes students make the mistake is, you know, most of the time when you interview with somebody, they're gonna be, you know, nice and you know, cool and nurturing. And then you're gonna have a few people that's just gonna be assholes. That's just their nature, that's just how they operate. Okay. And if you try to get off your entire tell me about yourself story from someone who's obviously showing you signs of speed this mess up, then you're gonna fail, right? So now give me a more condensed version for an interviewer with less patience. It's gonna get straight to the point now. Look at that right there. Bam. Get to the point. Look, this other one, look. You see how many little groups of paragraphs it had? 3, 4, 5. Bam. Look, I summed it up because he ain't got no patience. So this is my backup. Tell me about yourself story. If I start seeing him huffing and puffing while I'm talking, being disrespectful, I'm gonna throw that on him right there. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, job preparation. We still on job preparation. Mock interviewer. Okay, I want you to act as a plug your job in. Okay, developer interview. I want you to act as an interviewer. I will be the candidate, and you will ask me the interview questions for the position. I want you to only reply as an interviewer. Do not write all the conversation at once. I want you to only do the interviews with me. Ask me the questions and wait for my answers. Do not write explanations. Ask me the questions one by one like an interviewer does and wait for my response. All right. You guys ready to go to an interview? All right. My first sentence is, hi, great to meet you. You start telling me about, look, I popped in Power BI as the job, okay? But this could be SQL developer, it could be SSIS developer, it could be ETL developer, it could be whatever you want to plug in there. All right, can you start by telling me your background and experience? I have no background and experience. Can you tell me what motivated you to pursue a career? I heard they pay good. That's what you're telling the interviewer. Hey, don't follow this. I'm being funny here, okay? Don't get these answers. You tell me specific skills and qualities do you possess? I don't have any. So after I give it enough BS answers, it's gonna wrap the interview up. Now it's asking me about data visualizations. Okay, that's pretty cool, but we can move on from that one. All right, here's the LinkedIn profile of my interviewer. What are some things I could bring up to help me gain more rapport? So I just went to LinkedIn and I just copied the information from LinkedIn. I just copied it. That's all. Okay, just copy the information. All right. What are some things I should bring up in the interview to gain more rapport? Long experience in the insurance industry and in the positions that he held. Okay, so it's going through and telling you things about them. Okay, look at this. Mention one of his LinkedIn recent activities. Wish him a belated happy birthday. If the interview is after February 1st. All right, well, we got a lot more. Let's keep it moving. We're getting there. All right, coding Challenges. All right. All we doing, we plugging in that same interview, job description. That's all we plugging in. Give me some sample coding examples based on this job description. Oh, create a Tableau dashboard that visualizes sales data for a mock e-commerce company. The dashboard should include at least 3 different types of charts and allow the user to filter the date range and product category. Write a SQL script that aggregates data from multiple tables in a database and gives a report on the total sales region. The script should include some basic data cleansing and transformational steps, such as removing duplicate records and converting data types. That's cool. You know what? I sure would like an example script of that. Send me an example script of number 2. Okay, create the CTE. Okay. Trying to show my skills off in the interview, man. Give me some suggestions. Okay. All right, look at that. Damn. All of this based on the job description, guys. It's just the job description, okay? It's coming out with good. It's coming out with examples of how I can just practice on my craft a little bit, right? Just practice on my craft. Okay. All right. It's cool. We'll keep it moving. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. So let's see. We can move up to. Got a good look back at the table of contents. All right, so we got, we'll be adding more job preparation ones, but we got a few mentor, we got communication, time management, emotional intelligence, and data analysis. All right, so let's go to 70. Write an email to my mentee going over their stats and what they can do to get better. Shout out Davey Irwin. I just made up some stuff. I was looking at a report. All right, so I'm just populating some random stats in here, okay? And I'm like, hey, send out a message to my mentee, performance review and recommendations, okay? I hope this email finds you well. As your mentor, I want to take some time to review your progress in the program and provide some recommendations on how to improve. All right, then it's assessing your stats and giving you advice. I know it's too much. All right, let's keep it moving. As a mentor, I want my mentees to stop asking for questions, stop asking for the answers, but instead seek to know the question that needs to be asked to get the answer. What creative question can I ask ChatGPT to help me explore this topic while including a collection of facts, thoughts, and requirements? Yeah, see, a nice trick that I learned is ask ChatGPT about the questions that you should ask. It's crazy, right? It's like a matrix / parallel universe. Okay? Look, what creative question can I ask ChatGPT to help me explore this topic? Okay, and then I'm gonna pass in, how can I challenge my mentees to think more deeply and make connections between different pieces of information using a collection of facts, thoughts, and requirements related to a problem. All right, hold on, let me make sure I'm running it right. Okay, got it in quotes. You can ask chat now. These are just questions. They're just cranking out potential questions you can ask. What creative strategies can I use as a mentor to encourage my mentees to think critically and make connections between different pieces of information so that they could come up with their solutions? So let's actually run that question. I'm asking ChatGPT what question to ask ChatGPT. Yeah, it gets crazy. All right. As a mentor, you can use the following strategies to encourage critical thinking and problem solving in your mentees. Ask open-ended questions. Okay. encourage brainstorm. Use analogies and real life examples. I hope the mentees are out there listening. I know I got a few mentors on, but the mentees, I hope y'all listening. All right, and you might want to go crank that question up later on. All right, it's there for you. Got all the answers, just need to figure out the questions. Moving on, as a mentor, I want my mentees to stop asking for the answers, but instead seek, oh, we already went through that. Let's move on. How can I teach my mentees to ask the right questions about a specific text or email? Okay, that will help them understand the context and find the root cause of the problem. All right, so here's a grab straight from the alumni. Okay, this is what they sent. When report is import mode and I have two tables, relationship is one to many, the schedule refresh fails wherever there is a duplicate data entered on the column I use to relate the tables, because then it will be many to many. Will this still be an issue when it's in direct query mode? Will the data refresh fine? Okay, so you see definitely some spelling issues. I told you I copied it straight from the alumni. I didn't fix it, I didn't adjust it, nothing. Okay, how can I teach my mentees to ask the right questions about a specific text or email? All right, and I'm passing that in there. Because if you know the question to ask, the answer is there for you now, guys. I mean, with Google, with ChatGPT, the answer is always there. Okay, what questions to ask at the right time makes you deadly with this tool. To teach your mentee how to ask the right questions about a specific text or email. Okay, did I pass it in? In the case of the text you provided, some relevant questions to ask could be, what is the meaning of import mode? How are two tables related in import mode? What is the nature of the data in the column in the related tables? All right, so potential questions that you can ask, get the brainstorming and thinking of different questions. All right, let's keep it moving. All right, we can skip over this one. Okay, like this, I love this one right here. I love this one right here because create a, how you want to do it? You want an email, you want a WhatsApp message, you want a LinkedIn message, okay? By rewording this in a, how do you want to come across? Do you want to come across aggressive? Do you want to come across as passive aggressive, right? And then basically put your random thoughts in there, okay? So I'm writing this later to tell you how bad your phone company sucks. I've been having issues for some time now, and the service has been atrocious. When I call customer service, they just give me the runaround. I need my issues fixed right away, or I'm calling the Better Business Bureau. Okay, now we're gonna create an email response, okay, by rewording this in a passive aggressive manner, okay? All right, so they're not gonna come out directly and be like, ah, rah, rah, rah. They're gonna just hint you to death, okay? They're gonna hint that they're mad, and it's unfortunate that such subpar treatment has been experienced. I hope this matter will be rectified in a prompt and satisfactory manner, and it will be a shame to have to escalate this issue to the Better Business Bureau. Not I'm going to escalate. It would be a shame if it happened, right? That's a passive aggressive person. All right. So you can pass in whatever you want. Remember, these are all open-ended to get you to think about the questions. You can pass in whatever you want into these categories. We have communication still. What are 3 ways to improve email communication for remote teams? Delivery. What are some creative strategies for, could be presentations to convey whatever to your audience, right? So putting your audience in will help it cater to whatever your audience is. What are best practices for written communication to ensure clear understanding is achieved with cross-functional teams? So you populate, what are we trying to achieve? What method of communication are we using? And then who's the audience? And then just read up and just educate yourself. It's gonna make you, just asking these questions are gonna help you up your communication skills, because you're gonna be aware of stuff that you didn't need to know. You didn't think you needed to know, all right? All right, so this is the, what are 3 creative questions? This is similar to a question I showed where you can ask ChatGPT to give you to give you an actual question. All right. What are some strategies for managing time better when I have to write a book and goal, improve my coding skills? Okay, so you can ask it time, particularly to your situation, what are some ways that I can manage my time better given these conditions? And the more you put in there about yourself, the more you're going to get a detailed answer specifically catered for your personal condition. Activity over distraction. These are just some examples that you guys can use. Okay. And each of these things are going to help you make you more efficient. The more you use it, the more efficient you're going to get, because you don't have to find the answer. You just have to ask the question. What are some ways to streamline my work process to save time and increase productivity? Email management or whatever the case may be. All right, prioritization. What are some ways I can prioritize my tasks and effectively manage my time by taking into consideration 8-hour workday, 1-hour lunch break, or whatever you want to pass in. Okay, stay organized. Here's some good questions you can look at. What are some methods I can use to stay organized and on track with? Could be what part of the requirements are you gathering requirements? Are you working on your report? Are you putting together your presentation at the end? While also managing my time effectively for attending meetings, answering emails, right? You could ask those questions. Okay, improving communication skills. What are some tips on improving my communication skills in the area of emotional intelligence? No, we got to throw that in there. There's some strategies for X to effectively manage their emotions in Y situation. I like this right here. My key relationship. Okay, key relationship. That's anybody that's in your best interest for you guys to have a better relationship. Your mom, your parents, your kids, your boss. Okay. So you plug them in here. Okay, remember with your DISC score, you seek to understand. Okay. The understanding is you ask people enough questions so you could try to spot out what their DISC is. Are they a high I? Are they a high D, a low D, a high I? I already said high I. Low C. Whatever they are, whatever you scoped out by understanding the behavior patterns, you can now, if you figure that part out, you can ask for suggestions on how you should approach that person. Okay. My boss is a high D. How should I communicate with them? And of course, the more you have high D, low I, how should I communicate with them? Like low D, high I, low S. Okay, be clear and concise. High D individuals are typically fast-paced and have a lot on their minds. Make sure your communication is brief and to the point so they can easily understand it. Be organized, highlight key information, and present it in a clear, organized manner. So you can plug in, this is your boss, you can plug in your kids, your wife, your spouse, and any other details that you have about them that can make it more personal, you add that in there. So that's pretty cool. Conversation preparation, okay? As a high I, talking to someone that's a high C, I want to have what type of conversation do you want to have with them? A serious conversation. How should I approach the conversation, right? So now you got some details about you in there. You got some details about the person that you're preparing the conversation for. And now it's going to give you an approach on how you can have that serious conversation with them. Taking into consideration your different personality types so it can make you more effective. Plan ahead, outline the key points you want to discuss and make sure they're well organized and logically presented. Right, high I's are usually kind of all over the place. like to talk a lot, but may not be as detail oriented. So they're telling them to plan ahead because they already know that that's something that they probably lack at, okay? Outline the key points you want to discuss, make sure they're well organized and logically presented. Be clear and concise. High speed, value, clear and accurate information. So make sure you communicate your thoughts and ideas in a straightforward manner. Be respectful, okay? You guys get it. Like if you really be in tune, I'm really in tune with you guys' personalities, and when I communicate with you and I can really see different personality types and different tendencies that I see, right? I describe the person. I said, my friend does this, they do this, they do this, they like this situation. I just told it as much stuff as I could about them and then asked, what is my friend's disc, right? And so the parts that it could map out, it gave me, oh, chances are they're a high D and a high this, right? So, and of course, the more detail, if you don't give it much detail, it doesn't have anything to work with. But here's how you can, like, when you guys get into the field and then you get to doing a really good job and you looking at, you know, management or just looking at understanding people better. Like that's how you really work your way through and work your way up the food chain, is you have great relationships with people, right? And if you can take this, what you've learned in DISC, and then surgically use it to prepare for different situations, man, it's just giving you a competitive, it's just giving you an advantage in so many different ways, right? You have to ask the right question. All right, let's keep it moving. We're almost done. Data analysis. Okay, what are common mistakes in emails that lead to errors in data analysis? Get that prep work up front. Okay, now this is the cool part right here. All right, so give me top 5 insights on this data set. I just grabbed this data set, right? Copy, paste. I've been doing this to y'all's projects in the CAP program. Okay. Now you can start doing it. Okay. And, you know, we had trying to teach you guys how to create insights out of your data. Oh, man, that is a challenge. Okay. So now you just kind of pass. Now, it's not going to take any big data sets in ChatGPT, but if it's a, you know, summarize, usually the ones that you have on your reports, if you just export all of those and then say, hey, you know, give it to me, it's going to start finding the insights in your data. Okay. Now, all of these aren't going to be accurate, so you can't just copy paste, but a lot of them are good. And remember, you can always ask other questions, right? Like just focus on gross profit margin, right? And so now they're going to just focus on gross profit margin with the insights, right? So you can talk to it, you can ask it different questions, right? But remember, you got to verify these things. You can't just go quoting this stuff, like, because I've seen some blatant mistakes, all right? But it does give you something that can speed up your process, okay? You don't have to do all of that lengthy process, and then you can elaborate. Like for each insight, offer suggestions on how the business can improve. So now it's going to give me some examples, right, that are addressing the insights. All right, we only got a few more left. Here's another one. Create a problem statement out of this data set. Problem statement? What? It'll do that? Yes, it'll do that. Out of the data set? How does that happen? Of course, I didn't give it any details about what kind of company it is or anything like that. Or maybe I stir it in the right direction. Like I want to focus on, you know, this part of it. Write a problem statement that leans more towards that, right? So I just said a basic problem statement. So It just read the data and it came up with the problem. All right, cool stuff. Keep it moving. All right. Data best, what offer suggestions? Okay, data, I just did that. What are some database suggestions I can give the business on how to improve? Make them fact-based. That's an important one that I didn't do, right? So you saw in the first one when I gave the suggestions, it just gave me suggestions. When I tell it to make it fact-based, then it's going to base the suggestions around the facts, and it's going to include those inside of it. Well, they can also, so it's facts of the data, but not, I can add numbers. The highest gross profit was 66% in 1999, and the average gross profit margin over the years was 41%. To improve the gross profit margin, the business could aim to increase it by at least 5% with the reach of average of 46%. So just, everything's not going to be good, but if you just keep asking it the right questions, you can get it to give you what you need, okay? Okay, let's keep it moving. 94. All right, storytelling. Okay, you guys gotta watch this, right? I created a problem statement for you guys in front of you by using that data set, right? Okay, I'm gonna pass in that problem statement. I created insights by passing in that data set. We're gonna pass that in there. And the suggestions, we're gonna pass that in there. So then I'm gonna give some details about a story. So given this problem, here's the problem statement, and these insights, and these suggestions, here's some details about the story. I'm competing in a communication skills competition. I spelled competition wrong. I have to present my project to 100 students. I would like to create a story out of the data that is compelling and keeps my audience on the edge of their seat. This story should be about sales for a honey operation. It should be informative and funny and use the insights and suggestions I provided. All right. Once upon a time, there was a honey operation that had been consistently generating millions in sales for 20 years. However, the owner of the business was not sure if they were maximizing their profits. That's when they decided to take a closer look at the sales data from the past 2 decades. What they found was a story of highs and lows and total sales increasing over the years, reaching a peak of 294 million in 2014. The gross profit margin percentage fluctuated greatly with a high of 66% in 1999 and a low of 24% in 2018 and 21. The data also reveals some bumps in the road with sales year-over-year decreasing in 1997, 1999, and 2015. Meanwhile, the gross profit margin showed a decline in 2002 and a decrease in 2001. Based on the data, the business owner realized that to take their honey operation to the next level, they needed to focus on improving gross profit margin, stabilize sales growth, and monitor gross profit margin year over year, and consider external factors as economic conditions and competition. Remember, you can have a conversation. I would be like, too many numbers. That's a lot of numbers there. Dial down on the numbers, okay? Or elaborate on the story, or put them in a forest, or the character's name is this, right? You just keep going on, and then tweaking it until you find the right thing. Pattern recognition, all right? This just happened to me. Here's a table, okay, that we store the IPPC instructors, okay? So they have a class, okay? You have a start date. So every mentor that joins in between this time is assigned to their IPPC instructor as they join IPPC, okay? So for this instructor, the class start date was 1st of January. So any mentees that come in from the 1st till February get assigned to this person, okay? And then they will manage that group of people until this date, okay? And here's the user ID of the instructor. So as you can see, we in August, I haven't put any updates in there, okay? So I wanted to add some more updates in there, but I was gonna have to figure out what the dates are. I mean, the dates they move at the same pattern, okay? So I wanted to see if I could use ChatGPT to create the next 5 insert statements using the pattern in the table. So it's going to take this pattern that it sees in this data set and create me insert statements to add the next 5 records. Just took in that data set. Now it's giving me the next 5. Look, October, right? It changed the name, just like you kind of do in Excel sometimes, where you double click on the little bottom right corner and it goes and applies the same formula to all of them. That's kind of what this is doing, but much better. Okay, it's creating the next records based on the pattern that I gave it in the table, right? So this would be 2023. Look at that. February, skipping 2 months in between. It knows that this one's December, this one needs to be February. Okay, it recognized that this is the same and all, so it just did the same. Okay, it knew to take the months up 2 months. I mean, it followed the entire pattern and gave me an insert statement to where all I gotta do is copy this, paste it, and run it. All right. And for my last one is going to blow you guys' mind. Okay, so when I was trying to figure out how I was going to create the right questions to help, because this video not only needs to train the staff, but it also needs to train you guys as you go through this process. And so I needed to use ChatGPT to ask the right questions, okay? And so I'll have you know that the majority of this presentation, I use this question to get the information, okay? So I would pass in the topic, okay? What are 3 creative questions I can ask ChatGPT that will help me explore a topic while passing in details only pertaining to my specific situation by including a minimum of 2 placeholders with friendly names of what should be passed in to the placeholder per question to make this questions dynamic. I told it to follow this format that you see me using. The example, it knew to put the placeholder in there. And in the ChatGPT prompt, I had it populate the placeholder with information that it thought needed to be in there. And then I asked it to create a follow-up question. Placeholders will pass in specific information like code, errors, text, emails, collection of facts, thoughts, and requirements. Don't use names as placeholders. For each example, add the same question after what the placeholders filled in. Label the second question as ChatGPT prompt. After the question with placeholders, add a follow-up question and return each question. Then I said, convert all of these questions to HTML with these settings. ChatGPT prompt, the label has red text. Follow-up, label has purple text. Example, label has green text. Add new lines between each question. Don't number the questions. This thing can get really freaky if you know how to use it right, okay? So I use that to generate a lot of the questions that you see in this presentation. And so with that, this thing just starts cranking it out in HTML and picking questions.
How safe is it to use the ChatGPT?
How to use ChatGPT? You're gonna ask.
So how safe it is? How safe is your information in there?
How safe is, okay, so if you want to find more information about how safe, now remember, this is only creating questions. You're only asking it to create questions. What are some factors that contribute to the safety of ChatGPT and how do they affect code you receive from it? What are some factors that contribute to the safety of ChatGPT? All right, so I'm gonna show you guys one other thing. What are some factors that contribute to the safety of ChatGPT and how do they affect and then your input code? And then the second one, well, it's supposed to pass in the input code. Okay. So what you'll have is you have this format. Sometimes it comes out right, sometimes it doesn't, right? So you really got to play with it back and forth, if you get complex like this. But the power of it is I was able to create 100 ways for you guys to maximize your efficiency using ChatGPT, using ChatGPT to come up with the questions that you guys want to ask, all right? And so now what does this mean for you moving forward? This means that you should not be getting stuck. Like the biggest hindrance of people taking this program is you get stuck. Okay, you get stuck, a couple of hours turns into a couple of days, turns into a couple of weeks. And then next thing you know, the thought of coming back to the code just kind of takes your breath away because you know how daunting of a task it's going to be. The biggest thing that stops people from succeeding in this program is the getting stuck, okay? And then that just takes time. So now you guys need to start using this every single day. And when you get stuck, you go seek the question from now on, okay? We already know the answers out there. You need to seek the right question to ask at the right time. So when you are having a problem with your SSIS package, you go to your mentor and you don't ask them for the answer. You tell them the situation you're in. You tell them the scenario you're in. Matter of fact, just go to ChatGPT. Talk about where you were stuck, okay? And then try to put together a question that will get the answer that you need from ChatGPT. The more specific you are to your situation, the better the results will be, okay? You have to start using this every single day, okay? If you are getting stuck, you just have to ask the right question. And if you don't know which question to ask your mentor, because I told you earlier, the thing that they get really good at once they get their jobs is knowing what questions to ask at the right time, okay, and getting better using Google. Now we add this extra element of ChatGPT. Now there should be no answer that you can't find. There's no answer that you can't find. So now when you are in a challenging situation, think of the question that you need to ask to get the right answer, okay? So I want everyone to start using this. This is your cheat code, okay? This is a cheat code. Yeah, well, other people use it, yes, but everybody's not using it, okay? You use this to save your time. You use it to become more efficient in what you do. Stop thinking that it's gonna take your job, and all those things. You need someone, the more you use it, the more you know that you need someone that knows what they're doing to verify the data. You need to really know, you need to be a professional because you need to understand what things that you want to do, all right, in the specific situations. And so you have to understand the topic. You have to know what a joint is, what a CTE is, and all of these things. And you have to know, hey, I'm having performance issues. What type of things can I do given this situation? You got to know about that stuff to be able to ask the right question, okay? So everything moving forward from Colaberry is a shift from, we're going to focus on, when you do the help sessions, when you come to the help sessions, we're going to focus on finding you the right question, okay, to get the answer that you need. Everything we do, mentors moving forward are going to be focusing, if you need help from your mentor, they should be giving you the right question to ask to get the answer that you need, okay? You guys should be seeking out the right question. All your answers, they're going to be there. You got to seek out the right question. So everything we do from here on forward is about you seeking the right question. And if you get really good at this, you will be you'll be like a super developer when you get your job, okay? Because you can get more information in a shorter period of time which makes you be able to contribute much more. Okay, so start using it. You know, our focus was to help you become good at Google because that's where all the questions are. So now it's Google and ChatGPT. You need to learn how to use those two things, okay? Because they will decide how your career goes, those two things, okay? So add those in there, start using ChatGPT every day. These questions, this project out in Colaberry Network, it is a growing, living, breathing document. I'll constantly be updating it. So make sure you go there. Hey, if you got some good ideas, share them. But yeah, I mean, go explore this thing. And I hope today really showed you guys what some of the capabilities are, because over the past few weeks, I've just been trying to find different ways, just researching different ways to use it. And I wanted to share that to you guys so you can get that competitive advantage you need. Start using this thing today and you will be able to do so much more, okay? And I want to be able to make the claim, I already make the claim that after 1 year, students come out equivalent to someone with about 3 to 5 years experience, okay? I want to add to that now. With the addition of ChatGPT, I'm looking to say after 1 year, we can get you guys to someone that's equivalent to 5 to 7 years with the addition of ChatGPT. So someone who it normally took 5 to 7 years to get to the level of knowledge that they got to, you should be able to get that in 1, okay? And then make your acceleration into the field. All right, guys, that's my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope your mind is blown. And everybody, we got to start changing, all right? Start your change today. Don't wait, okay? Start using it today. Start using it today. It's going to change your whole trajectory in a good way. All right, guys. I'm out this thing. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you soon.